emergence of the Africa Democratic Congress months ago as a viable alternative for the opposition had tongues wagging on the possibility of a strong party that could rival the ruling All Progressives Congress. However, with the various defections, state governors from the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, the ADC is yet to get a ruling governor join its fold. Joining us on the show to discuss if the ADC can indeed be a credible alternative and if the party is well positioned to cause an upset in 2027 is Bolaji Abdullahi, National Publicity Secretary of the ADC. Good morning, Mr. Abdullahi. You're most welcome to the morning show.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Ayo. Good morning.
Well, Malam, what chance does your party stand?
Good morning to Dr. Abati, my brother Rufai.
Morning, sir. Bless you, sir.
So what chance does your party stand? I know that a few days ago you unveiled a committee in Delta State to win the presidential election, maybe the governorship, also in Delta State. And you said, oh, you are going to set up committees across the nation. But your party doesn't even have at least one state. And the APC seems to be steamrolling almost every state, every local government, every ward across the country. And people are saying, look, it looks like we have faced the reality of the prospect, certain prospect of a one-party state. And yet in ADC, you are still soldiering on when it looks like, even at this moment, 2027 election will appear to have been won and lost in favor of the APC. What do you say to that?
Well, I mean, thank you very much. And I will start on the note that you ended your comment, which is that 2027 election appeared to have been won and lost. And that's exactly the mindset of inevitability that the ruling party would like to create a situation where everyone will think that there's nothing we can do, no matter what we do, they are going to win anyway. That's exactly the kind of mindset they are going to create. But if you are familiar, of course you are, with Nigeria's recent political journey, you recall that as recently as 2007, PDP controlled 31 states out of 36, leaving only maybe 4 states in the north and Lagos State. But you recall that the election of 2027 still had to be heavily rigged. It was one of the most discredited elections in Nigerian history. In 2011, it's the same thing. Despite the overwhelming control that the PDP had across the country, they still had to massively rig those elections by popular reports. So what we are saying is just a case of history repeating itself. We are not surprised. You say we don't have any governors. No, we don't have any governors because these governors that are joining the ruling party are not doing so because they are convinced about anything going on in APC. They are all pandering to one vulnerability or another, or looking for easy way out. It takes conviction, it takes character, it takes courage, it takes belief in the nation itself for you to join the opposition party even while you are a sitting governor. And that's what this individuals lack. And it's easy for them to go and join the ruling. But we are not bothered about that. The ruling party or the president may have succeeded in bringing all the governors to their side and uniting all the governors under their party. But what about the people? Have they been able to unite the people? Let's take North Central, for example, Benue, Plateau, and all that. They are able to get the governors of minus Plateau. Maybe it's still warming up, But what about the people? Will they be able to convince the people that they actually represent the best option for them? That is the task that they will not be able to do because every Nigerian today understand what is going. You cannot. No amount of whitewashing can remove the reality that Nigerians are confronted with, and that is where ADC's strength comes from. To continue to appeal to the people, to continue to position ourselves as the only alternative to the ruling party and what they have done to Nigerians in the last 3.5 years or so. You said I was in Asaba a couple of days ago. That's the 28 states headquarters that ADC will be unveiling within the 5 months that we are in power. We have come on board. as an opposition political party, without a single political office holder, propelled only by the enthusiasm of Nigerians who are committed to seeing democracy survive in the country.
All right. Okay, thank you, Mr. Abdullahi. Now, if I look at the ADC, I would compare it to the Labour Party in the 2023 elections, which was considered to be the third force. They came and they're meant to be like the game changer, the third force that upsets the status quo between just the APC and the PDP. But we see just 2 years down the line that the Labour Party cannot stand strong anymore, at least at the moment, with a lot of internal issues, court battles against court battles, factions and factions. What are some of the lessons that the ADC can pick from that experience, or perhaps even what do you plan to do differently if you do emerge as a third force or even overtake the PDP as the main opposition party in Nigeria?
Well, I mean, currently, I think we have overtaken PDP because, like I had Dr. Abati asked Ini, which PDP are you talking about? Is it this PDP or that PDP? So today, the de facto opposition party in Nigeria is already the African Democratic Congress. So that, but having said that, you see, what you call the internal crisis in the Labour Party or even in the PDP, yes, they had their own internal issues and mismanagement of some issues, but the most important thing that we have to underline here is that they did not just happen. The ruling party, APC, had done everything to destabilize opposition party. In the first place, ADC has come about because of the non-viability of these other political parties. But the destabilization of PDP, the destabilization of the Labour Party, the destabilization of SDP is what has led the politicians in these respective parties to find refuge in the African Democratic Congress. That look, if we are not careful, if we don't build an alternative political platform, then Nigeria is inevitably leading towards a one-party state. And that is why what this government is doing, they are quick to intervene in Benin Republic to use the military to restore democracy. But back home in Nigeria, they are using legalism and the judiciary to undermine democracy. Because what's democracy? Democracy is about choice, about competition. It's about a level playing ground for all the political parties. But they are actively undermining opposition political parties in Nigeria while posturing as a savior of democracy in the region. That is not hypocrisy. That is if that is not hypocrisy, then what it is. Even as we sit here, as we have this conversation this morning, they are not letting go. They still continue to bring one obstacle or their one legal issues or the other, even against the African Democratic Congress. And you wonder, what exactly do they want to achieve? It is very clear. They know that on the record of what they have done in the last 3 years or so, no Nigerian that has suffered what they have suffered will support the ruling party. So what they want to do is to present us with no choice in 2027. So when Nigerians look around, they have no alternative. They say, okay, well, let's go with them. But what they are doing is undermining democracy. The APC today represent the greatest threat to Nigerian democracy. You know, so because what they are doing, a couple of days back, some people came aboard and they say, they are challenging, that they are asking INEC to deregister ADC on some funny grounds. But we know where that is coming from. The individuals involved in that, we know them, we know who they work for. You know, so this is a thing that that we have to solve.
Okay, good to see you again, sir. I mean, I thought you were saying PDP rigged an election then. Well, you know, a member of the PDP when they rigged the election. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But I think the greatest challenge to democracy... No, I said that's why you see you can correct me if I'm wrong. I put that caveat. I might be wrong. I don't say I'm right every time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But the greatest challenge to democracy as we speak for a lot of Nigerians is the fear that Atiku and Obi will not work together in the ADC. And it's looking like that. Some say that the ADC is Atiku's next special purpose vehicle to be able to run for presidency. Obi has been brought into the fray, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this analogy. Obi has been brought into the fray, but he has not officially committed. The sticking point will be when they have the primaries. In a case where Obi does not emerge, I'm not sure Obi will want to be a running mate to Atiku. He might probably find his way to another party, and that will equally split votes. As we speak today, the Obi-Atiku conundrum in the ADC is the greatest threat to Nigerian democracy. Analyze and infer. That's why I say analyze it and then make your inferences. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah. I said Obi-Atiku conundrum in the ADC is one of the biggest threats to democracy in Nigeria as we speak. Analyze and make your inferences, sir.
Well, I mean, thank you very much. I may not describe the situation in such superlative terms to say that it's the greatest threat to democracy at the moment. But is it a conundrum? Yes. Is it a challenge? Yes. Is it something we are concerned about? Yes. We have also tried to maintain that it's not just about Atiku and Peter Obi. Nobody in ADC at this time is having conversation about who the presidential candidates will be. Because like you rightly noted, we are more or less, relatively speaking, or in the context of where we have come from, a new political party. So we have so much work to do to establish our presence, real presence, to be in position to contest election in all the 36 states of the Federation and FCT. So this has preoccupied us in the last couple of months, but we know that is an issue we have to deal with. The most important thing is at this time, when we get to that point, we try to engineer a consensus, which is an option for us. But if we are not able to do a consensus, then we'll possibly just open it up for everyone to contest. And it's not just about PDP, about Tiku and Peter Obi. There are other people who are also interested in contesting the presidential race. You know, so we have to make allowance that it's not a settled case between just Atiku and Peter Obi. I agree with you; it's an option, but there are also other options that we are looking at. Even within there are other political parties that we're also having conversation about how to build a formidable coalition, even within this coalition, and to see what is possible.
All right, well, thank you very much. We want to see, we look forward to as well seeing what is possible, as you've mentioned. But thank you for your time with us this morning, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi.